Hello class, it's your teacher here with you, Mr. Lindenberg, here to talk to you about part one of the verbs we're looking to identify, intransitive verbs. Remember, we are being able to identify verb types so that we can begin our process of conducting or constructing more interesting and dynamic sentences. So, intransitive verbs, there's two unique features about them. Number one, when you're looking for an intransitive verb, you find the verb in the sentence. If you notice that that verb has a bunch of nouns or adjectives immediately to their right, it is not an intransitive verb. If you see a bunch of adverbs over there, it is an intransitive verb. So we look for intransitive verbs by noticing if they can end sentences, or, notice how that or is in a larger font, they can be followed by adverbs. So let's come over here and take a look at some sentence examples and try to determine if they are intransitive verbs. So sentence number one, the mayor spoke. All right, so the mayor, that's the noun phrase, spoke is our verb. So if we look at the sentence, spoke ends the sentence. The mayor spoke. So this is an intransitive verb. And then we'll put some exclamation parts. Woohoo! So spoke is in fact an intransitive verb. All right, let's take a look at another sentence. Garfield slept. So here we have slept ending the sentence. So we can confirm that this is, in fact, an intransitive verbs. They are intransitive because they end sentences and not followed by any other words. So if we had a sentence that went along the lines of Garfield ate the dog, here the dog is immediately to the right of the verb, so if this is a noun, ate, in this case, is not intransitive. All right. And we could do this forever. You know, birds fly. Fly is the verb. Fly is intransitive. It ends the sentence. The yeast rose. Rose is the verb. It ends the sentence. It is intransitive. The window broke. Broke is a verb, it ends the sentence, it is intransitive. Okay, so why don't you pause the video right now and go into your notes and type out your own sentences that use intransitive verbs to end the sentence. So take some time to do that, and then meet me back over here in a few, and we'll carry on. Wow, I bet those are some really awesome sentences. So, now that we've done some work with our intransitive verbs, we notice that they are ending sentences. Remember, if we come back over here, though, intransitive verbs can end sentences or they can be followed by adverbs. Adverbs, if you need help remembering, are words that modify verbs. So, running quickly. Corey was running quickly. Running is the verb. Quickly modifies running. Therefore, quickly is an adverb. Sounds a little like math class. That's because it is kind of like math class. Adverbs also answer the questions like how, where, why, when, and how often in the sentence. So Corey was running quickly. That is answering the question, how is Corey running? Corey is running over there. Over there is answering the question, where? Corey is running because he needs to lose weight. That's answering the why question. Corey is running today. That's answering the when question. Corey is running 3 times a week. Okay, that's answering the how often question. So those are all adverbial phrases that follow the verb. So if you see those and you see the verb, it is an intransitive verb still. Okay, so let's take a look at some more basic stuff here. So if we try the sentence out for size. The baby panda cried softly. It's probably crying because its mom was taken from him by poachers for its sweet, sweet panda meat. But regardless, if we look at this sentence, the baby panda cried softly. Pause this for a second, identify the verb, identify the adverb, and then press play again. All right, glad to see that you're back. You identified cried as the verb and softly as the adverb. You, in fact, did it correctly. So here we have the baby panda. Let's treat this as one big fat noun. Cried, verb, softly, adverb. Softly is answering the question, how is the baby panda crying? The baby panda cried softly. So it's modifying this verb here. It's an adverb, so we have an intransitive verb. We take a look at another sentence. Toni Morrison. Those of you that are going to college will meet Miss Morrison and her book's beloved Ursula. Toni Morrison writes exquisitely. All right. So again, if we take a look at this sentence, notice that writes is the verb, exquisitely is answering the question of how does Toni Morrison write? She writes exquisitely. Exquisitely is modifying her writing. So exquisitely is an adverb. Writing is an intransitive verb. Okay, so I'm going to write out a couple more sentences, and then I just want you to gander at these sentences and try to see if you can identify the intransitive verbs in each sentence and the adverbial phrase in each sentence. So if we look at these sentences, all right, take some moments on your own, put them in your notes, label the verbs as intransitive verbs if they are, and then see if you can block off the entire adverb phrase that exists behind the verb. For example, I'll take a look at this one. The stuntman jumped from the 3rd floor balcony. Obvious verb here is jumped. It's what the stuntman is doing. The question becomes, is this an adverbial phrase behind it? So, from the 3rd floor balcony, does that answer the question like how the stuntman jumped? No. Where the stuntman jumped? Yes, he jumped from the 3rd floor balcony. So this is an adverbial phrase, so this is an intransitive verb. Hooah! All right, so press pause, do these in your notes, and then press play again. All right, now that you're back, that concludes our discussion of intransitive verbs. Remember, they can either end a sentence or are immediately followed by an adverb or an adverbial phrase. There'll be a fun Google form for you to fill out afterwards. I hope you had a good time and enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed having you here. That's Mr. Lindenberg signing off. See you later. Bye.